And look at Kim Jane launching the big move, locking up the Yokohamas.
Gray's gone from pole. He's now back to about 6th spot. So he's had a bit of a shocker of a first lap. He missed the start. And he's dropping cars all over the place. But look at Jack Ellsgood there. He's catching up the back of Kim Jane as well. So the pressure's on from all these guys at the moment.
Now, Gary McDonald's the leader. He'll hand over this car to former Formula 4 champ and FPR endurance driver Luke Yulden at the pit stop. Kim Jane will give his car to Steve Owen. So there's some good drivers who are going to step in and bring this home to the checkered flag.
Look, they're driving defensively already. We're at the end of starting the second lap, and they're blocking and they're covering the lines, and then, oh, here we go. They're not letting each other through, that's for sure.
And this is where it's easy to trip over one another. These right, left, rights. Let's have a look at the Yokohama replay, turn 1. And that was Steve McFadden facing the wrong direction, who's had some dramas this weekend, sharing with Charlie O'Brien, in fact, and just ends up facing the wrong way, but thankfully out of harm's way in the rest of the field. Charge on through. Look at Kim Jane out in the fence. Now, has he got away with it, or has he damaged it enough? Look at Johnson going for the lead. They've not raced for a couple of months, can you tell?
Jack Ellsgood. Jack Ellsgood's going to come away with the lead in all of that.
And McDonald's in the fence. Kim Jane's had nowhere to go. Clearly, these boys have been itching to get back into it since the last round in Sydney last year. They've gone nuts. It's only lap 2.
Jack Ellsgood's inherited the earth there, hasn't he? He's come around in 4th place into turn 8, and he's popped out from turn 9 in 1st.
Big move here, down into the last corner. David Cedars, who we've seen in the last few years in the Fujitsu series. The Cedars team running not only his car, but also Andrew Fisher's as well. And that have been done. So Ellsgood leads, Fisher second, then Cedars and Gray, Gary Carson up to 5th. And have a look again. Kim Jane just out of the groove. And look at that concrete block move.
There's a slight lip just, and here's the rest of the action.
This is down one corner on. Jeremy Gray's trying to make up some ground that he's lost. Look at the car park over there to our right, and McDonald hasn't been able to get that car out of
He's
the
tried,
tyre
isn't he? But he just can't get that car moved. So that dangerous position there, that could bring out a safety car. We've got to be very careful here. But the pit window's not open yet. Is it open?
Not yet. The end of the leaders, lap 4, and the safety car, in fact, will be called now. So they deem that car to be in an unsafe position, and it will have to be retrieved. So we expected a bit of drama. Well, actually, it's a ute race, so it's pretty much a given.
It's a given. There's smoke coming off cars, there's rear bumpers, there's bits of panel hanging off everywhere. But now the safety car's bunched them back up again. That'll put them in a situation where they need to really think about their strategy here with this pit stop coming up.
Let's have a look again. This was Johnson going for the lead. McDonald covering, still just trying to turn into the corner. Ellsgood's the big winner. The Commodores are too busy pushing one another off the road, and Kim Jane just had nowhere to go.
Reverse, go, bang, no, we're not moving.
So it all sees the reigning champ out in front. Jack Ellsgood is the leader on the streets of Adelaide. The third and final race of the weekend. The legends are in the pit lane and ready to jump in. We're back with more from the streets of Adelaide. Back in Adelaide with race 3 of the Yokohama V8 Utes, protected by Armour All. Under safety car at the moment, Jack Ellsgood is our race leader.
Cameron McConville, it hasn't been the best weekend for you and Gary Baxter. Starting towards the back, he's up to 21st. Are you still wondering why on earth you decided to do this?
Yeah, I'm certainly, I saw Jace Richards, my old teammate, this morning. He said, you don't need a drip, do you, mate, to rehydrate? I think I've done about 7 laps all weekend, but hey, that's motor racing, as I perfectly know. But yeah, he's coming through the field a little bit, but now I'm sort of playing strategist, which I normally don't do. I say, I think we should bring him in now. Should we leave it another lap? So it's all a bit of fun, really.
You're having good fun this weekend, and yourself and Gary working well as a team?
Yeah, they're actually a great bunch of guys. I feel for them because they had to do a complete engine change last night. So we've started off the back, and they've just had a shocking weekend. You know, I don't know if I brought the bad luck. I had a fair share of it in my career, but look, hope I can get out there, do 7 or 8 laps and enjoy it.
I spoke to Gary yesterday. He said someone may have to drive the ute up to Murray Bridge and back to put some miles on the engine. It wasn't you, was it?
No, definitely not. I was in bed. I stayed at the workshop for a few hours, though. I probably didn't do that in my career that much because I felt sorry for them. But, yeah, they ran it in on the road. They're road registered, these utes. So ran it in last night, finished at 2 a.m, and here we are.
All right, go get him.
Thanks.
Oh, and it's busy times. And have a look at this. Jack Elsgood has missed it completely. Because the pit stop window is open at the end of the leader's lap 4, which was the last completed lap. Everyone is allowed to come in and make their pit stop and do their driver change, but for all those who haven't taken it, they've decided to roll around. But I think Jack just missed it.
I think Jack was a little bit asleep there, a bit of lack of communication, but the entire field's now, well, except for Jack Elsgood, the leader, is going to be in pit lane, and this is the perfect opportunity. Whilst the safety car's out, you've got 60 seconds to sit there, do your driver change, rejoin the race again, and hopefully not lose too many positions. But people like Jack, now they're going to drive around the circuit, get back to pit lane. He'll be probably at the back of the field when they rejoin.
Well, there's 9 cars that have not pitted. Elsgood is the leader from Royal Harris.
Oh.
And, well, it's just a car park here. This is just a disaster. Now, this is the number 4 car, Peter Burnett, stepping out with Chris Pether. That's Leanne Tander taking over the Thirsty Camel Commodore of Craig Dontis. And they've had some dramas with that car, in fact, this weekend. They had loose spark plug leads in race 1, and I hope they've got tickets. That's all for this car park. Rick Bates, the rally ace, who's done plenty of circuit racing in his time, back behind the wheel. He thought getting into the Jesus car this weekend, everyone would be really nice to him, but he's forgiven everyone for the dramas.
Now, one of the problems we've got here, Aaron, too, is that you can't actually work on the car in the fast lane. So we've got cars sitting out in the fast lane, yet the cars that are in their bay, they can't move till the 60 seconds is up. So it's a bit of a traffic jam.
I knew we were going to have some form of a drama. It is a ute race after all. So here are the guys who have not taken their stop. Elsgood, who will hand over to Andrew Mediki. Royal Harris is up to 2nd and has had just a tough weekend. Has not had a great deal of luck going on anywhere at all. So the stopwatches have hit 60 seconds. Everyone now leaping out of the lane.
So those cars now will join the back of the queue. They'll only be probably, 5 seconds behind Jack Elsgood, now the leader, and he then has to come in and do his full 60-second stop. So realistically, the chance for Jack to be in the race is not a good one.
Paul Morris heading out onto the track in the Scott Jennings Commodore, the Samboy Chip-sponsored car. And here are the leaders over around the other side of the circuit. Of course, the others are catching up to them and effectively have scored themselves a free ride. And I know it's early in the championship, but gee, for Jack Elsgood, this one could really cost him somewhere down the track.
Well, this is going to be like a non-result for him, isn't it, really? So, you know, if he's... no, he's going to pit now. So, by pitting now, he's really putting himself right at the back of the... basically, he's going to pop out somewhere like, let's guess, 20th position. So the safety car has peeled off to pit lane. We will restart. So Royal Harris will be the leader. He's decided, well, heck, I'm just going to go and keep going until the window closes. Have a look at this. Robbie Madison, we knew he was crazy. He's just confirmed it. Well, that's certainly interesting because the safety car's pulled off. So we've got Royal Harris out in front. Now, he's got a bit of an advantage over those cars that did stop before, who are still getting up to speed. So they've restarted the race. The rest of the cars haven't caught the safety car queue, but Royal Harris, now he's off and running up. He's up at turn 5 and leading the race. But the thing will be, he's got to have 60 seconds stop time in the pits, but also the slowing down and speeding up time. So he's just decided just to go for it, the young Gold Coaster who has been a regular in the Ute Series and one of the front runners over the last couple of years. So he's just going to run. But the thing is that the pit stop window closes at the end of lap 7, and that's the lap that he's on right now. Yeah, so obviously he's going to get a slight advantage, particularly over Jack Elsgood there, but really, I mean, he's really out of this race, unfortunately. So I suppose what we should look at is car 9 is really the bloke that's going to be leading this race. So that'd be Rick Bates. George Elliott handing over to Marshall Brewer. Looking back here at Noel Edge, who has handed over to Steve Robinson. And trying to make a move on Brendan Tucker there in 27th and 28th, just behind Rod Wilson, who is sharing with Nandy Kiss. And Rod's the inaugural Ute champion from back in its first year in 2001, having a run this weekend, having a good bit of fun. But gee, 12-lap race, you don't normally think that there's too much strategy involved, but this one's going to certainly hurt the brains as Harris now pits, as does Ben Cabbage.
And Rick Bates is the fastest man on the road, and he's only 33 seconds behind Ryle Harris, so he will comfortably become the new race